Now, if you work all day, cooped up in an office, or nowadays even cooped up in your home office, you understand the allure of the outdoors. I like to take a walk in the middle of the day in this big park that's right across the street from the office at WGTS. It gives me a chance to kind of clear my head and to refocus. Now, normally you'll see all sorts of kids playing on the playground, people walking on the trails, folks shooting hoops, playing tennis, pickleball, even hanging out in the stands watching football and soccer games. At least that was the case until the middle of March. The playground was empty, the basketball hoops were taken down, the courts were taped off, and everything became silent. Really, it became like a ghost town out here. A friend of mine said, I wish we could go back to the good old days. And by the good old days, I mean back in January before all of this started. There's no doubt that a lot has changed for us. So much has changed, from our birthday celebrations to our graduations, anniversaries, and work parties. It becomes easy to think, will things ever be the same? How do you make plans when the answer to every question seems to be, we just don't know? I find certainty in these words from the psalmist, Psalm 102, verses 27 and 28. And ironically, this section of the text is labeled this, a prayer for a person who's afflicted, feeling weak, a lament to the Lord. So basically what they're talking about in these verses is a person who's going through a time of trouble, a time of affliction, a time where everything is changing and they don't know what's for sure. But despite this lament, I really like these verses. They end on a positive note. They say this, but you remain the same, and your years will never end. The children of your descendants will be established forever. They will live in your presence. That's kind of a rough paraphrase. But what it's saying here, what the psalmist is trying to tell us is, despite the world changing around us, despite problems all around us, God's not going to change. He's going to be there for you. I find words of hope that God is for us in these verses. So I want you to think about this the next time that you're forced to social distance or wear a mask or change your plans at the last minute. None of this caught God by surprise. He's the same faithful God. He will be the same faithful God for you, for your kids, and for your grandkids. And that is never going to change.